It has been formally declared that the HAVOC is now a terrorist organisation and war has been declared. The APC forces now enacting an arrest or warrant on the HAVOC forces as described under the Prescribed Terrorist Organisations Terrorism Act of 2020, now active in Altis. In a recent statement given by the Governor, Charles Stewart, it states that terrorist organisations are now going to be freely described with a joint agreement by the APC and the Governor. We recently had an interview with Charles Stewart about how HAVOC have responded to them being labelled as terrorist organisations in a meeting in Kavala.
It's been recently stated by yourself and members of the APC command that HAVOC have now been deemed a terrorist organisation. What are your thoughts on their reaction to that statement with their attacks on civilians and them executing members of the APC?
Well, naturally, it's expected, isn't it? Quite frankly, they're a group of animals. I would expect nothing less of them. I personally was on the receiving end of their attacks. It's my understanding that they paid a gang to come round to my house and take me hostage. Fortunately, the brave boys in the counter-terrorism unit burst into my home and saved my life, so I can only thank them for it. But I'm not at all surprised by having a disgusting response and attempt on my life, as well as lives of the brave officers in Altis.
When the legislation was first brought into Altis, HAVOC didn't originally have a problem. At first they were concerned at the fact that the paper could be used against them to deem it as a terrorist organisation, but they were more concerned at ensuring that their men were secure. This incited a meeting between HAVOC, APC and the Governor, and it eventually broke down. Here is the original footage of the meeting.
The United Kingdom. I want you to work with us to protect the lives of the people of this island. The lives of my officers, which many of which are being lost because of your group.
I can say something about you as well.
Well, you don't. Our group don't break criminal.
I've seen you guys murder people, so.
Sir, murder is defined as the unlawful killing of a person. How is? I believe that as of yet, I don't think anybody in this room here.
Attacked when we've not even provoked you guys. And
So your provocation is your stance of creating a CP. I don't know what you expect. You militarise a border.
Provocation.
Okay.
The fact that we actually exist means we should be shot.
Let me be clear, because again we're going to go in circles. No, the fact that you carry illegal firearms, you steal territory, rob people of their money and their hard work and properties when they come through your checkpoint.
25k is not a rob. And also,
you have no right to find them, sir.
And often give them money as well. By now, mate, but you can't.
Well, no, because I'm not a murderer.
Okay, and
I'm not you to if that's what you believe. However, I'm not a murderer. I'm the Commissioner of the Altis Police Constabulary. We enforce law and
I'm the General of HAVOC. Okay, okay,
yes,
fine.
you're the General.
Just don't call me a murderer.
Well, I'm going to throw forward a motion now, gentlemen, to the members who it concerns, the 3 members of Gold Command. I propose right now, it seems that we have HAVOC completely uncompliant and unwilling to put the needs of the people first, so I do propose that we list them as a prescribed terrorist organisation. I would like to hear your votes on it. Commissioner starting.
Aye, favour. I am also in favour.
And it is done.
Shortly after it was stated that HAVOC was now the terrorist force that it was, they released a strike.
There you go. Oh, that's gonna hurt my ears.
Just don't hurt my hunter, okay? Don't hurt my hunter.
Can I just say a few words first? Today I've had a meeting with the Governor and the Commissioner, along with CGU, basically the highest members of CGU and the police force, regarding this bill that would prescribe organisations as terrorist groups. They said to me, apparently, HAVOC will not be prescribed, and said, why should you worry about it? And we said, well, we are an independent state, we see us as an independent state, and we tried to give them some arguments of why we should become independent, that we are independent and so on. And they were not taking it at all. They were saying that apparently we are terrorists, we are criminals, we are thugs, murderers. Jacob Borden called me a murderer to my face. And you know what they did? They then, right in front of us, did a vote to prescribe HAVOC as a terrorist organisation. told us to leave, otherwise we'll be arrested for trespassing. So, now, this begs the question, how are we going to respond? Well, I know how we're going to respond. If they want to treat us like terrorists, we're going to start fucking acting like terrorists. From now on, from the next few weeks, we'll be committing war crimes directly against the cops. Every single one of them will be purged out of resistance. Any cops who wish to join us shall be welcomed with warm arms, such as this man himself right here. The rest
Yeah, Kevin,
shall
come over
suffer
here.
greatly.
Kevin, come over here. You belong over there, man. Come over here.
Yeah.
Come and line up
You
here,
can't
man,
lost
Kevin.
now.
Pay every person in his lands to get hostages for us. The better the cop hostage, the better the price. Well, the better the cop, the higher the price. In particular, I'm declaring a fatwa towards Jacob Boyden and the current governor, Charles Stewart. We are at war now, boys, and we will show them what we're fucking made of.
They immediately started skirmishes in and around near Trory, all the way up to Athera. It was a huge battle with many armed Quillians coming into the land and attacking locals. They even threatened to shoot down some civilians in the area trying to observe, and even some of them trying to escape. Geneva has commented on the recent allegations that HAVOC have been breaking international law and are sending investigators to see whether or not they have formally broken the rules. If they are now trialled, it is definitely going to be a case that General Flamingo, the general of the HAVOC forces, will be put in The Hague and will be assessed personally. Of course, Robinson News was very quick to get to the scene. We went talking to some members of the HAVOC forces to try and find out their opinion on the situation and talk to them about the actions that they are now committing.
Was the government being bribed to label us as terrorists, plus the government is corrupt and they arrest people for silly reasons, such as having weapons, and their citizens have a right to carry weapons bigger than, I think it's 25. Well, I mean, after they labeled us as terrorists, we'll show them how terrorists act, and they got what they wanted. I mean, recently we've been taking a few police hostage, and we've been disposing of them how we want. Maybe in a few swamps, in a dumpster, and someone drowned in the water. I mean, it's kind of their own fault for labeling us as terrorists, because we were willing to cooperate with the police before, but kind of labeled us as terrorists, and the treatment they gave us after the meeting with the governor was just unacceptable. So it's the general forcing us off the governor's house.
So, are you confirming the fact that HAVOC are breaking rules in Geneva, therefore breaking international law?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say break international law, because technically speaking, it's done within our borders, so I wouldn't really say it's a breach of any law.
Yeah, we're our own independent half of the island.
However, we
island.
have been able to capture some footage given to us by some civilian entities of you attacking civilian aircraft in the APC borders, more specifically dated 3 days ago at the silicon processing plant, where you threatened to shoot down civilian aircraft spectating an assault. Is this standard operation for you to attack civilian entities and unarmed units, or...?
No, it is not standard for us to attack civilians, and we don't want to attack unarmed civilians. We are here to protect the citizens of our land, as well as keep them safe. But if people do get in the way of us, we'll have to force them away.
We actually have a more in-depth look at the situation, moreover the fact that we have international entities coming into the island. We sent one of our correspondents, Rojo Yuf, to go and investigate the full situation in depth. Rojo Yuf, what's the issue today, and what's the governor been saying?
Well, Darren, we have had some interesting developments. The governor released more documents today condemning HAVOC actions, along with calling to the UN to combat HAVOC's crimes against innocent civilians. In the document, it has outlined how HAVOC members will be punished if captured by members of the APC, including how much members should be fined and sentenced to. Of course, this was met with a massive uproar from the general of the HAVOC forces, General Flamingo. It was noted that he sent out his mechanised divisions into the lands near Trory and started harassing local police forces. while also attacking unarmed civilians, claiming they still had authority to protect themselves from unknown forces. This has broken several Geneva Convention laws set out over a decade ago, while also angering the main APC command. However, with CSAT and AAF support, along with Greek and Hungarian financing, the United Nations may withhold themselves for the time being until the island is unified under one banner. For now, we here are unsure whether the governor of the island will take action next.
My name's Darren Robinson. I'm the guy who does all the videos, manages all the editing, does all the in-game bullshit that everybody sees, and basically directs everything that goes on the channel. I'd like to have a big thank you towards Sanjay Punjabi, the guy who made me get focused on making this story in the first place. He was the guy who said, listen, we have the big story, we want you to host the mainline view on the entire situation. Fantastic for that. I'd like to thank all the members who got involved with editing, all the people who got involved with the recording, the voice acting, especially Rojo Youth. The guy did the last bit at the end. His channel is down in the description below. Really good channel, go watch. He does all of the gameplay stuff. And more importantly, I'd like you to come join me in my Discord channel. Come join me in the PON Discord, which is where I do a lot of our gaming community events. We have a Milsim unit that we do weekly events on. It'd be fantastic to have you down. So thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the